Hello everyone, that's Jamie.
That's Brandon.
And we need movies. Welcome back. This is a show we talk about movies we watched that week, movies I picked up, movie news, movie trailers, all kinds of good stuff.
Yep.
So let's start off with our theater releases. Jamie, 2 flicks came out in theaters last week. We both saw one of them,
Yep.
and I did see both of the ones that I wanted to see anyway. Fuck Ben-Hur, right?
I saw Ben.
Oh my God, we talked about this, Jamie. So let's hit it off. Leica's new film, Kubo and the Two Strings.
2 strings, just 2.
Yeah, tell me about it, Jamie.
It's an animation film.
Stop motion. In the same vein as Coraline and Paranorman and the Box Trolls.
Why are you talking? No. Yeah, it's the 4th film in that series, or I guess series in that company's history, and I am thoroughly impressed every time I watch one of their productions. Like, Coraline was a hell of a start, right? Mm-hmm. And then Henry Selick was directing, so it was a really big name behind it. Director of Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously, people assume it's Burton. But
Tim Burton, yeah.
So this guy was a master of stop motion, and he really started the trend for Leica, and then they went off to Paranorman, which was, again, they always have like these really cool concepts. Like, I think Coraline was based on a book, but Paranorman was original, Box Trolls was based on a property, but this is their second original feature, and I am thoroughly impressed of how much they've learned the past 4 films. Like, the attention to detail, the effects, the art design. This movie's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
And incredibly well written.
Yes, very deep for a children's movie. And I love the world building that it did.
Yep.
It's a very interesting and unique vision of this world. And it deals with magic and gods and all kinds of crazy shit. So what'd you think about it, Jamie?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I mean,
is it one of your, could be top 10 contender?
It's one of my contenders, yeah.
Okay.
The film has some really positive themes and messages behind it, and about what's important about family and that kind of thing, and learning how to do magic. It's an important lesson for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'm learning. The film is endearing in every way. It feels like a folktale. I mean, the way that he tells stories in the film is exactly how the film plays out. I mean, it's a beautiful story.
What I will say is that I didn't find this to be the best animated movie in a while, like a lot of people are saying.
Sure.
I actually think this was definitely better for me than the Box Trolls.
Okay, yeah.
But I would say it's kind of up there with Paranorman and Coraline. I really loved those 2 first movies. The Box Trolls was all right.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't bad, but just for their, I was a little disappointed. But Kubo and the Two Strings is by far their most mature and intelligent property that they've done so far, and it's really emotionally resonant. But for some reason, I've always gravitated towards, I love that horror element that those 2 films, and this has it. By the way, those 2 sisters with the porcelain masks, freaky as shit, dude.
Yeah.
Rooney Mara, yeah. What was funny is that there was no kids in the screening. It was all teenagers and adults in our screening anyway. So I doubt, and sadly it only made $12 million at the box office. Their weakest so far, which is sad.
Yeah.
And I've also read that this is going to be the final film that Leica will be doing featuring a child protagonist. From now on, they said their end of their cycle, and it's now going to move on to more mature stuff. He said it doesn't necessarily mean it's adult themed or oriented.
Sure.
It's probably still going to be a kid's movie, but they will no longer feature a child protagonist. So
yeah, some of the elements that were added to really placate the children's audience was kind of forced in a way.
Yes.
It felt really out of place. The film was so serious, and then in a good way, and then nothing really bad about that. And then it kind of got these little kiddish vibes from the characters Beetle.
Yes, of course.
Or Beetle's the dumb, goofy character. And
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Yeah, the cast is great too. I kind of had to figure out who they were because I forgot. But the kid is a newcomer, Art Parkinson.
Really good voice performance for a kid.
And the mother is Charlize Theron.
Yep.
And there is George Takei is top billed. He has 1, 2, 3 lines, and one of them's "Oh my."
And Ralph. I didn't know Ralph Fiennes was the Moon King until I left. The Moon King.
Rafe.
Is it?
Rafe Fine.
Get out.
Rafe Fine.
All right, fine.
Exactly.
Very fine. Yeah.
Thank you.
The ocean animation in this really cool. This movie definitely is the best looking movie of their property so far, and one that I think will go over a lot of kids' heads.
Sure.
But is one that if you have a kid who kind of enjoys dark stuff and stuff like that, you could really. This is a movie that appeals to all generations, all people. So.
And I think it'll do all right. I mean, I don't think it's been released in every territory across the world yet, and I think Japan and the Asian markets will definitely resonate with this film more than we did, more than Americans did. I just think it came out at a bad time. August is a bad summer. I mean, if it came out, hell, October, you know what I mean, or November, if tied into something that's a little more of a weaker month, might have done better off. But usually animation films are immune to that sort of discussion. But there was a really bad summer of movies.
For the most part,
So-
we've had a couple good animated movies this year. So
Yeah.
I know Kubo will definitely be in the running for Academy Award nomination.
yeah.
I was just thinking, like, Zootopia will probably get nominated.
Yes.
I maybe Finding Dory, depending on the end of the year shakeup.
Pixar probably will just get
Pixar
one.
probably will get nominated, but honestly, this could win Best Animated
hope
Feature.
so.
And if it does, it'll be a good statement for the Academy because they've been really, very vanilla choices for the most part.
I would laugh if Sausage Party also.
Oh my
got
God, that would be
nominated.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I don't think it'll win, but
It's just
got
not, yeah, it's
nominated.
not well enough animated to probably contend, but it's such a great animated movie, yeah. But yeah, Kubo and the Two Strings, I will definitely be revisiting this,
Yep.
and I recommend it to anyone who's even remotely interested in Leica stuff. And Leica, man, they're becoming the next Pixar if they keep this up.
Yep.
Like,
And their budgets are
consistent-
super small.
they're small in comparison to them, but it takes, it took 3 years. They make a
Sure.
movie pretty much every 3 years or so.
It's similar to Illumination. Illumination, the makers of Minions, Despicable Me, and now the new Sing, they're the same way. They have a lower budget, around $80 million, and they pull off a really good, typical animated film. And I think Leica, if they keep going the way they're going, they're going to get some huge names attached for talent like they have already.
Oh, yeah.
Or, just more importantly, some good directors behind their work, like Henry Selick again.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But it's funny, the director of this movie is the president of Leica Company.
Oh, wow.
He was also saying that they're planning on doing a movie a year. That's what their goal
That's
is
awesome.
to try to get to that point. So they're going to try and, even though their budgets, their box office return hasn't been huge, I guess they're still making enough money anyway to keep building their team and trying to consistently push out work. So
God, it's sad it's their lowest film because they did so much marketing for this film.
they did, and it looks, out of all of them, probably the most expensive just because
Sure.
of the, landscapes and
Fucking
really cool textures. I like it.
Snapchat had filters of the different characters.
Oh, did it really? I
Yeah.
didn't know. Well,
I only saw it in a video. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Fuck.
But the next one that came out was War Dogs. So I checked this out, and it was okay, man. I was looking forward to kind of a more dark Todd Phillips movie.
Yep.
Almost along the lines of like a Hangover Part 3. I
Or
thought
the Big Short for Adam McKay. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Sure, yeah. I was expecting it to be a little more intellectual than it was. That being said, in comparison to movies like, it doesn't quite compare to movies like Lord of War when I think of those type of movies, those movies where they try to get you to almost not maybe sympathize, but at least relate to these characters. And like Jonah Hill is, it's funny, I was reading reviews of this after I watched it, and like everyone was, for the most part, praising his performance, saying like he's like the best part of the movie. And man, I found him pretty grating in this. Like,
Really?
yeah, like his character is just very unlikable, and he's got a really good scene towards the end in an elevator that kind of explains who he is in a very cool little nutshell moment. But his laugh in this, like that scene in the trailer where you see him like shoot the minigun and stuff, that's a really great scene. But after that, it's like once you establish who he is, he just doesn't give a shit about anybody, kind of hustling, always wanting just the money. It's like he's not entertaining enough to like, I guess.
Yeah.
You can have characters in the main protagonists in movies or TV shows be a bad guy, but it's just like you have to have them something that ties you to them. And for some reason, I didn't feel that with Jonah Hill's character. What's funny is Miles Teller's character is obviously the narrator. It's told almost like Goodfellas, where he's like talking about what had happened. But the movie has the involvement of that real guy, just the Miles Teller character. And so I feel as though they may have exaggerated the shittier version of Jonah Hill's character and like blamed it on him for what had happened, because it's a true story. They did go to prison and whatnot. Not spoiler alert. That's what happens. It's a true story.
Spoiler for me.
Sorry, bro.
I don't watch the news.
No, but it's, Bradley Cooper's in there for a little bit.
They really sell him in the trailer.
They do sell him in the trailer. He's bigger than I honestly thought he was. He's not like the Joker anyway. He's got at least like 3 scenes of like full dialogue with characters and whatnot. But
That's cool.
yeah, it just didn't stick as much as I wanted it to. It has moments that are kind of funny. It's never laugh out loud funny. I don't know. For the most part, I was disappointed.
Do you think that, the reason why Jonah Hill's character is kind of crappy is because, was the story like one of those stories that are like, there's a great story behind this, but the people aren't really interesting? Because there was a tidbit about Jonah Hill saying that the guy didn't want to talk to him at all. So he refused to I guess I'm doing something right if he doesn't want to talk to me. I don't know if that's true or not, but
That's because he was saying, the last 2 performances that he got Oscar nominations, both of those guys refused to talk to him as well. So, which is funny.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this would have been best suited for like a documentary on these two guys, because the story itself about two like 20-something-year-olds conning their way into the U.S. government and pretending that they're licensed arms dealers or whatever, and getting a fucking like millions of dollars in the process, is a great story. And like, it just doesn't go. I think it's like you almost needed to either pare down certain things or expand in like a 2.5-hour long like epic almost, like a between these, like, because there's really cool scenes of like them trying to actually like bring guns to certain place when they actually run guns and whatnot. But I don't know, man, it was okay.
Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to it,
But no matter what, War Dogs was a goddamn masterpiece. To the next movie that I watched, I knew I wouldn't like it. I didn't want to watch it, but I was over visiting my family, and they're like, we'll put it in anyway. So I watched The Boss with Melissa McCarthy. God damn it, dude, I didn't laugh almost ever. I think I may have chuckled like twice in the entire film. And that's bad, dude. Like, and I hated her character.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone in it is so like cartoony and stupid. And then Kristen Bell's the only one rooted in reality, and she's the only person rooted in reality. And so everyone around her, she almost seems like weird and out of place. So it doesn't make sense. And then you're expected to feel for Melissa McCarthy's character much like an Identity Thief, and you're like, no, she's an asshole. Like, why would I care for her?
Yeah.
And there's just such stupid scenes, like, continually, one after the other. And they waste, like, such talented people. Peter Dinklage. I just really disliked every minute of this film.
Had you seen Tammy?
I had not seen Tammy. That's the other one directed by Belle Falcone, who's also...
Ben.
What? I said Ben. What did I say?
Bell.
Did they say Belle Falcone? God damn it.
Cool, actually.
Yeah, that'd be a cool name.
One name right now.
Ben Falcone, yeah, who's her husband.
Yes.
He was also in this movie for a little bit.
I mean, there's been couples before that worked together in film, but I feel like with them, they're not pushing each other to get to the content, because I think he even wrote the script or co-wrote the
He
script.
may have, yeah.
And I never got a good vibe from Tammy. I never got a good vibe from the boss. But she has other films that do really well when she works with Paul Feig or something else.
Yes.
Like Spy is one of her best films of the past 5 years. But
Yeah. This year, not good for Melissa McCarthy. I will say that for sure. The last couple were pretty good. She had good breakout roles. No, like St. Vincent, though, was
she made
good.
some money, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. This week on Blu-ray, there was some good stuff. There was The Nice Guys. I went to go pick it up at Best Buy, but the cases were all damaged, dude. Normally, that's not a huge thing for me, but they were like the split cardboard down like the slip case, dude. So I'll just wait and I'll pick it up later. But I went to Best Buy specifically to get the exclusive metal pack of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Check that out, dude. It's embossed, too. The chainsaw there.
Embossed chainsaw?
Yeah. Doesn't even say Ash vs. Evil Dead there. It's just on the spawn there, bro. But this is a show that I've been looking forward to. It's on Starz Network or something, and I would want to buy a passcode or whatever for...
You can get a free month and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you could do, but you couldn't get this.
True.
So...
Obsessed much?
Where's my life going? But this is a show. Lucy Lawless is also in it. So you get a little Xena, dude. But the main person to talk about here is Bruce Campbell. And, like, that's what I'm most excited to see. Like, he doesn't act much in movies.
Sure.
I love her persona. I love Ash, the character. Yeah. And from what I've been told by fans of the show, or fans of the movie, rather, this is really a faithful adaptation. It looks like it's got great practical gore effects. I'm looking forward to this. This looks pretty fun.
It's a 10-episode run?
10 episodes. They're only half an hour. And I kind of dig that. I don't need to spend 10 hours on one season of a show.
Right.
Like, I do if it needs to be, like, True Detective, but this is Ash vs. Evil Dead. You know what I mean? So I kind of like that it's only half an hour shows. But yeah, horror comedy.
Season 2 is coming back.
Yeah, I watched the trailer for season 2, even though I haven't seen season 1, but it looks really cool, really fun. So yeah. Just made me more excited to finally check this out. But that's all I picked up this week. I feel sad. I feel really bad about my life.
I know how I feel when I only watch one film every week.
Jamie.
I meant to watch more.
You're a busy man. You're a busy man. What's coming out next week? Well, this week it's Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe,
Which
really
is,
excited.
yeah, the only one I'll be checking out. I really want to see this. I do want to see The Sea of Trees, but that's in limited release, as well as Hands of Stone.
Yep.
Also in limited release, I believe. But then there's also Mechanic Resurrection, which we'll be talking about later, about some unnecessary sequels, some good, some bad.
Yeah, there's some good ones out there.
There are a lot of bad ones, though. So we'll see how Mechanic Resurrection fares. I won't actually see that either, so I probably won't unless... No,
you won't.
Nope.
Fuck it.
So, Jamie, let's move on to movie news, movie trailers. What do we have this week?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Not a lot at all. Let's get the trailers out of the way. There aren't many. There is a trailer. Now, we don't do a lot of direct-to-video stuff, but if you're ever interested in DC and you hate Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman like I do, they suck. you want to look into the animated features if you haven't already. So they've been putting out animated films based on their comic series for the past 6-7 years, I think. All are way better than anything DC's done on film. Even more so than some of the Marvel films. They're really well told stories. They're really good. Batman Killing Joke just came out, rated R.
Got mixed reviews. A lot of people kind of disappointed, but yes.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah.
They just released a trailer for Batman Caped Crusaders.
With the Z?
Yeah, the Z.
Okay.
3 Zs.
3 Zs. Cool.
But it is essentially a continuation of the 1966 Batman movie, where the 4 villains, Penguin, Joker, Catwoman, and the Riddler, from the original show with Adam West, are reunited to go after Batman and Robin. The Adam West, Burt Ward Batman and Robin. So it's like they came back from the voices. Julie Newmar is still kicking around, so she's still the Catwoman in the voice. It's kind of funny. It's kind of cool.
That is really funny.
It's like a really cheesy, throwback to the old school Batman and how campy it was, and even down to the boff and
they're doing the transitions and everything too. That's
everything's
cool.
there, so it's kind of cool to see, especially since it's bringing back the original voice actors.
Yeah.
Looks fun.
Okay. I could be down for that. No, that sounds pretty fun.
But
I wonder who their audience they're going for. I'm sure just fans of Batman in general, but the older audience actually could get in on that, which is funny.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's probably a PG.
Yeah, of course.
So
very
it
wholesome.
has a rated R sex scene with Catwoman.
Oh yeah, balls.
Robin
going
and
everywhere.
Batman.
Robin and Batman, yeah.
And then the only other trailer I saw that I probably didn't do enough research was Kidnap
Okay.
with Halle Berry. Remember what was that one?
The Call.
The Call.
Yeah, that's what I just thought of. Yeah.
I thought of immediately that too. So it's her with her son playing Marco Polo in a park, and then all of a sudden, Marco, where did he go? His phone's on the bench. He's gone. She sees him get kidnapped and put in his car. So it's a fucking chase movie.
Okay.
It looks like the whole movie after that is all chasing.
So she just
him down.
starts driving. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty looks pretty. It was cut like a super crazy action movie, so it looks intense. And she's like, "You picked the wrong kid to kidnap." In the end of the trailer, Kidnap.
Dude, so it's like Halle Berry's Taken.
Kind of. It's way better than The Call, CBS film.
Yeah. So, so wait, it's called Kidnap.
Kidnap.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, dude.
Looks.
Do you know who's anybody worth mentioning?
I didn't see
Okay.
anything.
All right. Well, cool.
So there's a lot of hoopla
Hoopla!
over some casting announcements this week.
Oh.
So if you didn't know, Spider-Man: Homecoming is next May, and Zendaya, who's a Disney Channel star and Shake It Up, used to watch that shit. And I think she's a singer too, and she's like a 18-year-old African American singer, songwriter, and dancer, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And she was cast months ago as some girl named Samantha or something.
Okay.
Well, they kind of really dropped the ball and revealed, not dropped the ball. They kind of really revealed who she's playing. She's playing Mary Jane. People like Michael B. Jordan are freaking out. There's a black girl playing Mary Jane.
Oh, okay. That's so stupid. I've seen her in interviews and stuff, and she just seems like a very bright, bubbly, fun girl. I think she could add a lot of fun to it.
I mean, she has the personality, and she has the role. She knows how to play an actress model. I mean, that's what Mary Jane is. So
yeah.
It makes sense, and she's really tall and thin, like the character had always been, more than any other Mary Jane in the movies.
Yeah.
So why not?
Well. What's cool also is, it takes place in Queens, New York, which is why they're adding this really cool, diverse cast. They've got Hannibal Buress. They've got
Michael Keaton. Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. He's really funny as well.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea.
It is, yeah.
Just relax, people.
Yeah, calm down. It'll be all right.
Calm down. Another casting bit, but they've announced that Michael Pena is back as Louise.
Oh, Louise, yeah, in Ant-Man
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah.
Good. He better have been. Yeah, he was one of the best parts of Ant-Man. Yeah,
Stole
for sure.
The show. So he's back.
That's awesome. Cool.
And they've turned the script in and everything. They're just working towards it, but they have 5 movies out before that.
Now, is it Adam McKay or same writers?
Adam McKay and Paul Rudd are writing again.
Okay.
Mike Peyton Reed's back. I think they're also co-writing with a couple other writers. But point is, yeah, it should be very similar in vibe.
2018?
2018.
All right.
I think July 2018. Don't quote me on that.
I will.
There's a lot.
I said don't though, Brendan.
There's a lot of films coming out so far. I mean, there's still Doctor Strange this year. Next year is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming in July, and then Thor 3 in November.
Wow.
Yeah. And then 2018, Black Panther in February, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp. No, Avengers Infinity War, then Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's too many things going on. Vin Diesel let the raccoon out of the bag and said that Guardians will indeed clash or meet up with the Avengers in Avengers Infinity War. Which is weird, because now I don't know what they're doing with this. I thought, the two-part, when it originally was announced, Avengers 1 would be like, maybe the Guardians are the first line of defense, and they are defeated or incapacitated for a while, and then Thanos comes to Earth in the second one. But they said it's different movies. So is this going to be the entire run of Thanos in the first movie, and then the aftermath of it in the second one? Because Guardians are going to be in there.
Right.
People are going to die.
You thinking? Yeah, well, yeah, they've got to, right? Because this is the end of a lot of their...
Yeah, they said the two Avengers movies are the end of this phase, the 3 phases that we've had, the conclusion of the trilogy, if you will, and then also the beginning of something new. So, I'm sure there'll be a team shakeup. Somebody's going to get killed.
Yeah.
Cap.
Well, maybe they'll finally kill War Machine. Set some stakes.
Just fucking kill. Yeah, they should have killed him.
Set some stakes.
Sorry.
Yeah, calm down. I mean, Don Cheadle, respect. Hotel Rwanda, dude.
Hotel. I don't know. I've never seen it. Never watched that movie. Is it good?
Yeah,
Did he get nominated?
Joaquin Phoenix is in it as well. As a camera guy, yeah.
That's his best role?
Yeah. Well.
Or is Meryl? Swing away, Meryl.
Swing away.
Swing away.
Doodle-in, 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 doodle-in.
Great transition. Yeah. Thank you. So we talked about Meg before, the sci-fi megalodon.
Family Guy character.
Yes.
Sci-fi. Yeah, the big shark, yeah.
Yeah, and Jason Statham's in there, of course. Director was
Eli Roth at one point, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's somebody else.
Yeah, I think they did change it.
Anyway, so yeah, Rainn
John
Wilson,
Turtletop.
Yes. Rainn Wilson's been added to the cast, and I just want to talk about the movie again because it's one of the few books I'd read that I finally turned to movies. Like, I'd seen Horns, I read Horns, then seen it, and then read The Martian, then see it. And I plan on reading The Arrival before watching the movie.
Oh, dude, we didn't even talk about that trailer. We talked about it last episode, never mind. But that full trailer came out finally.
Yes, the full trailer came out. Really good.
Really cool.
Excited.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner looks good in glasses.
I mean, of course he does, dude.
That's all I got from that trailer.
It's hunky, intelligent Hawkeye. No, but I like the whole idea of just trying to basically communicate with it. The entire thing is just like trying to communicate with them, teaching them the difference between a tool and a weapon. I like that whole thing. Yeah. There's a lot of good ideas, a lot of solid stuff that Denis Villeneuve. This will be a really cool first-time sci-fi. Yep. Really, I mean, he kind of delved a little bit into it with Enemy, with some weird shit going on.
Oh no, dude, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, the last scene of that. God damn it, dude.
Blade Runner 2, another Denis Villeneuve film.
Yeah.
Has just been rounded out their cast with Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Jared Leto, Harrison Ford, Robin Wright, Ryan Gosling, Mackenzie Davis, Dave Bautista, and Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
The girl from Knock Knock.
Yep. Wow, dude.
And War Dogs.
Yeah. Shots on that too.
So it's a good cast.
That is a good
I don't know what
cast.
the hell's going to go on in the movie, but it sounds like I feel bad for Jared Leto because I feel like he did get shafted. Mm-hmm. He said he got tricked into it. I don't know if he got tricked into it, but there wasn't enough for him to do in Suicide Squad.
He's got tricked into Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's what he's saying now? Oh, no, of course. Well, then you can't. You can't trick yourself into giving people dead rats and shit, though, bro.
Keanu Reeves is working on a film called Replicas.
Okay.
He plays a scientist. Always a scientist.
Yeah, absolutely believable.
Who loses his family in a car accident.
Gotta have him gone.
So he clones them, but a ruthless corporation discovers their existence and calls for their destruction. So he must protect them at all costs. Intense.
Okay.
Classic Keanu Reeves.
That's a pretty, yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. Anything with Keanu Reeves that goes to theaters, I'm pretty much down for.
If his son is played by Brian Posehn, it'd be much better. Just have a guy who's lumbering and taller. Daddy.
Could you imagine?
Daddy, I'm back. I'm alive again. Max Landis, notorious for being incredibly busy, incredibly crazy, has said that he's always asked about which film he would remake of his father's if he could. Mm-hmm. And he's like, the only remake I'd ever want to do is something I'm doing right now. And it's rumored that it is American Werewolf in London. So John Landis, his father, made in '82 American Werewolf in London.
Yeah. And
there's rumors that he might be making a new one, which is kind of cool.
Huh.
Because it didn't really get a lot of praise. Like, remakes have a purpose when it's like a film that didn't really get it's a cult classic, but didn't really do well. And I think
Okay.
I haven't seen it, so I think with time it kind of feels like it's got lost in the shuffle.
I don't know, dude. This is a movie that's stuck around for a while.
Really?
This is kind of beloved by a lot of people. It's coming out, funny enough, in like two weeks on a special edition Blu-ray. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, and it's been one of those movies that I see all the time out, and I'm always like, I can pick that up because it's got the most memorable werewolf transformation scene of all time.
I did see that.
Really phenomenal makeup effects, like with the werewolf, but also with the dead, decomposing body of his friend that like keeps talking to him throughout the movie. Really cool locations, dude. Yeah, it's really solid shit. Like, and yeah, we watched. I don't know if you were in that class, but did you watch that like scene deconstruction? There's certain scenes in there that are like talked about for like how you don't show the monster, but you show certain things. It's in the train. It's the subway. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested. So it's just Max and
we don't know if it's gonna happen.
Okay.
But I mean, his stuff is hit or miss for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I tend to like his stuff for the most part. It's definitely an interesting like hyper chaotic vibe for his films. Like
American Ultra.
Yeah, American Ultra had a really interesting vibe.
Yep.
And he's done. I guess he did a really good Superman run. Like if you ever make it as a film one day, I'd be excited.
Okay.
It's called American God, I think. I don't know. I like stuff.
He's doing a lot of stuff.
Always doing
I was gonna say he does at least 1 or 2 movies a year. He just sold his last one with Will Smith for Bright. For Netflix.
Yep.
He did Young Frankenstein a couple months ago.
No, it was called
Victor Frankenstein.
Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it for news though, and trailers.
Yeah, it was a short week. Small little week. But that's okay because that gives us a little more time to talk about unnecessary sequels. Mechanic Resurrection. I did see The Mechanic. Have you seen it?
No, I never did.
Unnecessary sequels.
Yes.
Let's talk about some good ones, some bad ones.
Well, let's talk Jason Statham and talk about the Fast and the Furious films. I mean, when he came in
That's true.
7 and the end of 6, I mean, 5, 6, 7
Yes.
are completely unnecessary, but they've rejuvenated the franchise to the point where it's $1 billion per film now,
Yeah.
or getting there. I mean,
I would argue they're better than the original, which makes them, I don't even know how to argue that, because I wouldn't say that it should be any sequel, but really there shouldn't even have been in the first one.
yeah, it's like there were car chase movies, now they're more like just like fucking
Heist, superhero, weird ass, yeah.
we are invincible.
Insanity, yeah.
We are Groot. So I mean, yeah, those Fast and the Furious films are definitely something that I would think would be unnecessary sequels that turned out to be not bad, and again better. So, what do you think? What do you have for?
One of my favorite unnecessary sequels in that it essentially remakes the first one.
Oh shit!
Holy, just you don't need it. But it's Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yeah.
I always watch this every Christmas season. It's got a stupid performance from Rob Schneider. A lot of people in there are completely wasted. But Joe Pesci, and seeing him and Daniel Stern back again in just a different setting with Macaulay Culkin, it's not a good movie, but I watch it every Christmas and I have fond memories of it. And so it's a completely unnecessary sequel that I find very entertaining.
I think it's great. I mean, I liked both of them as a kid. And the reason they made it because of fucking money.
Yeah, of course.
Home Alone was one of the top grossing films from 1990.
Yup.
You saying that made me think of something. I thought you were going to snipe it for me. Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, that's one.
Wholly unnecessary, but it takes the premise and twists it like as a satirical sequel. It's a sequel in story with characters, and Zach Gallagher's back, and Phoebe Cates is back. Then Dick Miller comes back, the neighbor from their home small town of Something Falls. And then it just plays with the rules and has a good time, goes over the top, like there's a vegetable gremlin, there's a spider gremlin, there's a female gremlin who fucks this guy. I mean, what the fuck? But it was so fun as a kid, and it was really insane. I'm glad they made it, because it's definitely something, and same director and everything, so I'm surprised it even got made at all. But it's cool to see.
It's interesting to think about what makes it an unnecessary sequel for you, because there are sequels that are, warranted because they further the story, the characters. Some of them, I would argue, there are movies like 21 Jump Street that doesn't need a 22 Jump Street, but I wouldn't call that an unnecessary sequel because it feels like it has something kind of new to say with making fun of sequels and that whole, you know what I mean? So it's hard to distinguish quite what's unnecessary. But what I view as an unnecessary sequel would be like a movie like an Anchorman 2. Like you have a perfect first original comedy that people wind up loving even more so later on than when it's first released, and they try to capitalize on that. And it's not nearly as like bad as like Dumb and Dumber 2 or something like that,
or
Zoolander 2, but it is unnecessary. But I laughed a lot during it. You know what I mean? Like it's just good to see the characters again. It doesn't further the story. It's completely useless, but it makes me laugh, and I like to see the characters.
I struggle if this is like unnecessary or not, because I think the first film is perfect on its own, but the two Matrix sequels,
Yes.
you could have done without them.
Yeah.
I mean, they did expand upon the story and the lore of this whole world around them, but it just didn't feel like it was worth it in the end. And the cliffhanger in the second one made me so happy for the last one because there were some cool ways they could have went with that.
Yeah.
Like with as Agent Smith in the real world could have fucked everything up, but it didn't do that. It kind of just I'm this guy who sounds just like Agent Smith. So anyway, I don't know. I think those were unnecessary. Mm-hmm. Made a lot of money for them and then got their name up there, but see, I guess I took this list as like unnecessary sequels that were good.
Yeah, sure.
Because I thought that these films didn't need sequels or they were going to crash and burn anyway. Like, so if I put X-Men First Class, because it was, to me at that point, like, they're going to go back in time, they're going to fuck up the whole timeline, but it ended up rejuvenating the franchise in a lot of ways. And if it wasn't for that, I gotta say, Fox may have lost their rights within 5 years after that, because that really did get a shot in the arm for the X-Men movies. And Future Past was good too, and then
I love Future Past, yeah.
Apocalypse was meh, so I mean, and then of course Deadpool did really well for them, so they're not going to lose it anytime soon, but they need to figure this shit out.
Some ones that I wouldn't necessarily call good. I know you will consider this one really good, but I just find it like fun. It's completely unnecessary, but Ghostbusters 2.
Yep.
You know, essentially, again, remakes the first movie, but it doesn't feel like a travesty. It doesn't hurt you. You know what I mean? It's just kind of fun to see the characters. I kind of want to say Predator 2 is kind of fun. Like, it's unnecessary and it's really weird too. Yeah. But it's kind of a guilty pleasure, I guess. Unnecessary sequel. Ones that I actually didn't mind, because there are a lot of comedy sequels that always try to capitalize and always try to capture that. And one that I didn't mind actually was Horrible Bosses 2. It was okay, and I think that's because the first one's not great, and so it's just like almost as funny as the first one, and so it's just like, that's all right.
I didn't expect them to make one though, really.
No, I really didn't either. But well, it cost. I mean, it made over 100 million, so yeah, they're making another one. Yeah, there's some terrible ones. I actually wrote down a few ones that pissed me off. Okay, here's a few that really angered me. Speed 2.
Yes.
Cruise Control.
Terrible.
I hated that movie. As a kid, I loved Speed. Speed is awesome. Still to this day. It's a great action movie. Like, really concise, to the point, well cast, awesome. What do you do? Then they set it on a fucking boat.
With Jason Patrick.
Jason Patrick's no Keanu Reeves. S. Darko.
I never even watched that.
Yeah, I got through about the first 15 minutes of this and then shut it off. I was really angry. I didn't want to watch it because I knew it would just tarnish the first one. But yeah. Just stupid. The one that really, I remember as a kid, I was excited to see this for some stupid reason because it came out in like, I think 2002 or 3 around there. It's The Son of the Mask.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't see any promotional materials. All I knew was that it was a sequel to The Mask, and so I was excited going in, and even then I was like, this is horrid. This is horrible.
It's like Dumb and Dumberer. Same year.
Oh, God, yeah, When Harry Met Lloyd, yeah. Shia LaBeouf's in that.
Of course he is.
A couple other ones that I don't mind. 300 Rise of an Empire was It's like had some cool visuals and Ava Green's kind of hot, but very unnecessary.
Speaking of sequels with Ava Green, Sin City: A Game to Kill For.
Oh yes, also unnecessary.
Unnecessary. It was 9 years past the first one. They should have just stopped. It wasn't really good.
Yeah, there's a couple cool parts to it, but yeah, it's not nearly as good as the first one. Same with Tron Legacy. I like the soundtrack. I like the visuals. It certainly looks phenomenal, actually. And, you know, it's, again, not necessary. It doesn't really do anything to...
No.
It's got weird CGI.
It's necessary. And the third one should have happened because I listen to that fucking soundtrack and the remix to this day.
Yeah?
I used to listen to it a lot.
I remember you did.
Now I mix it in with everything else. So it's like, I still listen to them every now and then. Son of Flynn comes on, Solar Sailor... Fucking Derez, of course. And then Moby and Oakenfold with like remixes.
I hate you so much.
Oh, Glitch Mob.
I'll stab you in the eye.
Do it right here, Pen.
Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows.
Dude. There's a cool couple little things in that. As a kid, I'm like, this is really cool. Like, it's so dumb. I know it's dumb.
There's probably only like 2, maybe 1 going to like wide release. This seems like a very limited release week right there.
Yeah.
I've noticed that September and the end of August, September, a lot of smaller releases, indie stuff comes out. It's when they kind of dump a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And then the early Oscar contenders start coming out. Like the week after is Sully. So it's like it starts that trend of, bringing it up. October is definitely where it really comes in. But actually, the one I'm more really curious that if I ever check it out, I'm going to watch it with a fucking beer in my body. But Skip Trace.
Oh, yeah, Johnny Knoxville and Jackie Chan.
Best duo ever after Owen Wilson. Or
Chris Tucker, yeah.
He seems to have this weird little thing where he has to team up with some American comedian actor.
Yeah. That's weird. I haven't seen Johnny Knoxville in years, since like Jackass 3, I think was the last thing we saw him in.
I mean, I think if you watch The Last Stand, I didn't watch it.
Oh, that's
though.
right, The Last Stand.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, too.
He might have done the voiceover for something recently,
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah, it's been a while, so for him to... And this looks pretty terrible, the movie itself. The
Yeah.
trailer's edited really weird. We talked about it a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
But...
it's exciting because we're kind of interested in the idea of these weird pairings.
Yes. So yeah, next week's episode, we're going to talk about our favorite inspired casting choices, ones that are just two people that seem like they shouldn't be in a movie together. They are, and it's good.
And maybe like offer some of our opinions, like what would be a good pairing, what kind of film would we want to see them in.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, I think that's this week's episode.
Yep.
Check it out next week. Check out our Facebook link. We've got our We Need Movies right on Facebook.
Yep. We Need Movies YT for YouTube at gmail.com. And not all that, just the We Need Movies YT.
Yeah. We're trying to pick more open-ended topics because we want more comments. So please, let us know which ones we forgot. I forgot a shit ton. And it wasn't even forgetting. It's just this is such a vague, topic that we want some unnecessary sequels.
Yeah.
Give us some good ideas to watch for movies. That's Jamie.
That's Brandon.
And We Need Movies.